My name is Amy Lyons. I am 19 years old and I am 14 weeks pregnant. It was not planned, my pregnancy. I've always wanted children, but not this early. I messed up taking my contraception, which was the wrong thing to do. At the very beginning, my boyfriend was fine with it, but after a couple of days, he began to get a little bit worried and scared. And as some men do, he turned it all into the denial of the pregnancy, and he actually wanted to abort the baby. As I think a lot of young mums who have had abortions do, I think what they feel they have to do is abort the child in order to keep the partner, which I was thinking of doing because I didn't want to be left alone with the baby.
Well, as a single parent, I don't really think you need to be in a certain relationship. Because if you're in a dodgy relationship, it's going to impact on the child more than it is, say, if you were on your own. It's easier to not have that worry of someone walking out or not always being there for you. I'm Lindsay, I'm 21 years old. I had Caitlin when I was about 19. She's now 10 months old. When my dad found out I was pregnant, he were disappointed. He kept saying, your life's over, your life's over. But Mum were more accepting. We came round to it and it won't change the fact that she's here. Probably about 25, 26 would be the right age to have a child, but whenever you're ready really to have one, I mean, it's not up to us to say who's right and who's wrong to have a kid. I'd like to have a child when I was a lot older rather than being so young.
I mean, you've got two sides of age in which to have pregnancy. You've got too early and you've got way too old. I'm a child of where my parents were quite old when they had me. My mum was an okay age. She was mid-30s, but I mean, still that's a little bit, I believe, a little bit old to have your very first child. And my dad was 40.
I just don't want to, when your kids are at school, I don't want to be like 60 and you can't do it with them, so I think you can be too old.
I'm Louise and we've been together 4 years.
And I'm Mark.
We've been engaged for a year. Getting married next year, aren't we?
Yep.
I'd like to get married first and then have kids in about 2 years.
I want to be more stable at the moment, so we'd get married and then have kids. So there's no rush.
When it comes to men being under pressure, it depends what sort of situation they're in. If the girl's really wanting a kid, then they can be, but I don't really think there is any pressure for them to have them.
I don't think that men are very pressured into having families, but I think they're probably under pressure because of the women in their lives. I think women these days, some of them are very maternal.
I prefer sometimes to not, it wouldn't bother me to get married, or that's not stopping me from having kids. I could have had kids before I got married, but obviously Louise's views are different, so we're marrying and then we're having kids.
Not that we have to do that.
No, not saying it's...
That's how I'd like to do it. I think it's just when you've been brought up with that as well, like, you know, my mum and dad married and then they had kids, and, you know, my grandma did, and you just think it's maybe not the right thing to do, but I think if your family's done it, you just sort of carry on. Abortion can be a bit selfish sometimes, because I'm like 23 now. If I got pregnant, we're not ready, because we'd like to buy a house first and get married and stuff, but if I did become pregnant, I wouldn't have an abortion now, because I think it's selfish at this age, because I'm older. But if I was 16 and still a child, then I think I would, at 16, I would have an abortion at 16.
It's just not right for people to look down at anybody like that. It's their choice, and you never know, they'll probably have another child very soon, just at the right time for them, whether it be financial, emotional, relationship-wise.
She weren't planned, she was a complete accident, and obviously got caught short. When it comes to abortion, I mean, I considered it before she was born, in the early stages, but it's just scary stuff to put yourself through. I mean, some men don't always see it the same way you do, but it depends what certain situation you're in. I mean, I've never had an abortion, but obviously in rape situations or something similar like that.
I think the way in which people see abortion, they think it's a very uncommon and wrong, unsociable thing to do.
Giving birth was one of the hardest things to do. I was terrified to do it. I was 16 days over by the time she was induced. They broke my waters. They had to use forceps after 12 hours just to get her out. And I ended up with a 4th degree tear because she was so big at £9.10, and it took 3 months to recover.
I am terrified of giving birth. I am absolutely, yes, I'm soiling myself at the thought. It's a very scary thing to think about, but what keeps me going is the thought of right after all that incredible pain I'm expecting to go through and life-changing things that are going to happen to me, the best life-changing things can happen to me right after all that. So for me, I know that everyone is different, and some people go through it a lot worse than I do, and some people go through it a hell of a lot easier, but I am tired a lot, I get sick, I can't fit into anything anymore. I get very emotional and a bit ratty, and it's just a bit draining really, but it's wonderful. It is a wonderful thing, but I tell you what, if I wasn't pregnant and feeling like this, I'd be really annoyed. There'd be no reason. This is a wonderful reason to feel this rubbish.
For the scan, it was a bit nerve-wracking because I didn't know whether baby was going to be okay or not. I was a little bit worried about if there was going to be any complications. I wanted to make sure that it was going all right and make sure that I was okay as well. Went to the scan, everything was fine, so we were really happy. When we found out what sex it was, and which was a boy. My mum died in 2008. I was 16. It was all a bit hard for everybody, and I know that having baby would have made her very proud, and I know that even though she can't be around, I've gained a lot of things from mum anyway that are going to help me raise my baby. And it would have been lovely for her to have been here, but that's not sometimes how life goes.
Pregnancy stories. I created sprouts while I was pregnant. At Christmas time, all I wanted was sprouts. I had like weird things like warm cheese and salad sandwiches. Proper disgusting, but it tasted right nice.
Funny pregnancy stories. I cried over some cream crackers because I really wanted cream crackers. I said I don't have any cravings, but I went through like 3 days where I could eat nothing but cream crackers, and and I ran out, so I just cried into the drawer.
Being a mum means a lot. I mean, it makes you realise, like living a party life before, it was all good, but like now, I'd rather spend my money on her and do things for her rather than myself. So it's made me change a lot. Being a mum means a lot to me, and I'm glad I kept her and I've had her.
I don't think you can really answer that until you've got a kid. We want to be parents, but I think it'll mean more to us when we do have a child.
Just like you're proud, aren't you? And you're proud of your kid, and you've done it, and you. It's hard. It's a tough one to answer without being in that situation.
Gotta say, I don't really feel like a mum yet. I don't know why. I feel that I am a person with an incredible thing growing inside me, which is amazing, but I don't feel like a mum yet because I think a mum is somebody who proves their mum's worth after the child's born. It's what you do after the baby is born that makes you a mum. You know, that's what, anybody can be a mother, but it takes someone really special and amazing and educational, influential, and just someone who knows that child inside out to be a mummy. You know, that's what makes a mum. And my mum was, to me, the best person in the whole world as a mum. And I just hope I can be half of what she was, and I'll be absolutely fine.